Hello and welcome to a special interview with the contestants of the National Carnival Queen Pageant. I'm Jason Davis and I'll be speaking with the 6 lovely young ladies who will be contesting that title. With me here at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium, our first contestant number 1 is Miss Anissa Eddy. Hello and welcome.
Hi Jason, thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure. Can you tell us who is your sponsor?
Sure, no problem. I am generously sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Alrighty then. Now, I was reading your bio and your platform is stigma or addressing the stigmas that can be associated to speech impediment.
Yes.
Tell me, why did you choose this platform?
Funny that you may ask. I chose to use this platform as I am personally affected by a speech impediment. I stutter, or most people call it stammer, and I decided that we as a federation, we don't shed much light on persons who suffer from this disability, and I wanted to raise awareness about how the stigma that is placed on speech impaired persons affect us.
Now, what type of stigma are we talking about?
There is one major stigma that is placed on individuals like myself, and it is that individuals say that we are basically not good enough. They say that because we don't have a fluent speech, we can't do certain things and we can't be as successful as our counterparts who speak fluently.
Well, I'm listening to you right now and I haven't heard a stammer since.
Years of practice.
Alrighty then.
I stammer terribly.
Okay, so what would you like to see done here in St. Kitts Nevis to address speech impairment or speech impediments?
Personally, I would like the government to sort of raise more awareness, shed a bit of spotlight on persons like myself and their disability on a whole. I would also love if they can host STEM walks, because there was one that was recently held in the UK and it was on October 22nd, as that is International Stammer Day.
What's a STEM walk?
It is where a group of persons that suffer with that disability go on out in the streets and they walk around just talking about the experience with this disability.
Okay, to raise awareness of it.
Correct.
Okay, very good. Now let's switch from speech impediments to the actual pageant. Okay, so is this your first pageant?
It is actually not. I entered the Miss Back to Roots pageant at the Clarence Fitzgerald Bryant College, and I was not crowned, but I came first runner.
Okay, I bet you it was a narrow margin.
Yes, it was.
So tell me about what led you to entering the National Carnival Queen Pageant.
The major reason why I entered was to raise awareness about speech impediment. And because growing up, I always loved to speak. And in school, I was ridiculed a lot about not being able to speak fluently. And I used to always say that I want to enter Miss St. Kitts. And then persons would say, well, you can't speak, so you'll not be able to enter. So the second reason why I chose to do it as well was to prove them wrong.
So how have your preparations been going?
They've been going well thus far. It has been a bit tiring because we have a lot of late night practicing, a lot of events to attend, but it has also been very rewarding as I have gotten to work on my public speaking skills and my confidence as well.
So are you looking forward to anything specific on the night of the show?
Yes, I am looking forward to the interview segment, as that is where I'll get to sort of display my skills and everything that I have learned.
And we'll be looking forward to see you show off your skills on the night of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. We now move on to contestant number 2 in the National Carnival Queen Pageant, Miss Desi Brown. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So now tell us about your sponsor.
My sponsor is the St. Kitts Nevis Angola National Bank.
Alrighty then. Now let's move on. I understand that your platform focuses on women's reproductive health and specific conditions. Now, why did you choose this platform?
I chose this platform because it's prevalent. And it's so prevalent that I often tell people that if I knew 10 people, there are about 8 women that suffer from these conditions, such as endometriosis, fibroids, and polycystic ovarian syndrome. I actually suffer from polycystic ovarian syndrome, and the things that I've gone through with it, the mental issues that like depression and anxiety, and you have other things like weight gain and trouble losing weight, menstrual issues, excessive hair growth, lots of acne. there are lots of other women that actually suffer from these things. There's a lot of pain and stigma attached to speaking about issues of your reproductive health. And because of the stigma, a lot of persons don't want to talk about it. And I think it's really essential for us to do that, because we don't necessarily get to know about the issues and understand what is really affecting our bodies and how could we actually curb the issues that affect our bodies.
So, if you happen to win the pageant and you're given this platform, how would you raise more awareness about these issues?
Well, I've actually started using social media to share my story with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I've found that quite a few persons have responded and thanked me for coming out and speaking about it, because they didn't think that there were so many other women who suffered from these illnesses, not just PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome for short, but endometriosis and fibroids as well. I have started a Facebook page called Control Alt Delete, and it represents controlling our choices so that we can alter our lifestyle and delete all of the toxins from our bodies so that we could actually live a better and healthier lifestyle, which informs persons about all of the issues. What is polycystic ovarian syndrome, endometriosis and fibroids? How could we identify them? As what are the signs and the symptoms? And I'm not a doctor, but we are able to share some information with women that actually sensitize them, and like they get up and go to the doctor and ask about the issues. And it's gratifying to see that women are now being able to identify what is wrong with their bodies. So that is definitely something I would like to continue. I would like to actually go into our schools and use my business, which is Poise SKN, to try as much as possible to teach girls to make better choices. Because I was diagnosed with it at 15, and at 15 I didn't know what it was, and I didn't think it would affect my body, but eventually it did. And as a result of not knowing, it just impacted my life so differently, and I think if I had tackled the issue earlier, I would not have suffered so much.
All right. Okay, well, it sounds like it's a very, very heavy topic and something that definitely needs to be addressed.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the pageant or pageantry on a whole. Have you had much pageant experience?
Not quite. I did a few pageants while I was in university at Mona. I did Miss Rex and I did Miss UE. And Miss Rex is our hall's pageant. And then I matriculated to the Miss UE Mona competition in 2015. I did not win either of those pageants, but they were very, very good experiences, which actually helped me to mold a few skills to go into chaperoning, which I have previously. And chaperoning is probably the most experience I've had in pageantry. So this is a little bit different for me, having to step back and, let my team take control of everything that is happening and step into the light and be able to showcase my talent, intelligence, and beauty.
Alrighty then. So, are you looking forward to any specific part of the show coming up?
Yes, National Pride. I really love that segment because it's probably the segment we get to be free and enjoy like the music, be on stage and showcase our culture and whatever current issues we decide to focus on. But it's really, really fun. It's not as strict as having to model a swimsuit or evening gown. And it doesn't require the kind of focus that we require for our interview segment. So it's definitely my favorite segment and I look forward to it.
All right. And we're going to be looking out for you on the night of the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we continue our series of interviews with the contestants for the National Carnival Queen Pageant with contestant number 3, Miss Mervan Thompson. Good evening, Miss Thompson.
Hello, Jason.
And welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, first of all, tell us, so you were robbed then?
I am proudly sponsored by Caribou St. Kitts Nevis Limited. I am Ambassador 3, Mervan Thompson, and as he rightly said, I'm 25 years old.
So your platform is, if I'm not mistaken, women's empowerment, especially in the areas that are non-feminine. Tell me about that.
Yes, I love to advocate for these things because growing up, I was always attracted to what the guys would be doing. I always enjoyed playing football, a lot of sports, high jump, dabbled a bit. I also played volleyball, which I continue to do as well. Netball, almost a very active person. But yes, and in my adult life, recent adult life, I have an affinity for cars. So I would have dabbled a bit in mechanics. I'm no certified mechanic, but I do know my way a bit under the hood of a car. At least I try to. So I have owned 2 vehicles now, and I honestly try to know what's going on for my previous vehicle and the one that I have now.
Quite the diverse and multi-talented person you are.
I try.
So, have you had much pageant experience, though?
Yes, a bit. My pageant career, I forgot. Anyway, my pageant career, I guess, started with a primary school pageant, actually, many moons ago. And then in my adult life, the 2016 Culturama Swimwear pageant, then the 2017 Culturama Queen pageant. I traveled to Grenada for the Miss Caribbean United. I was also a contestant for last year's National Carnival Swimwear pageant.
And how have these pageant experiences helped you as a person?
You learn to tolerate tempers and temperaments of everyone. You also get a sense of how to interact with persons, especially regionally. When you, well, from traveling to Grenada, I observed how the girls are. It was, you know, pageantry, when you come into the time, it gets a very tense backstage and so on, but it was a really smooth experience, and I love Grenada.
All right. So, how are your preparations going for this pageant?
They are hectic, Jason. They're very hectic. It was quite busy before, but now it is crunch time. 2 weeks, a week and a few days before the show on December 28th, actually. And we have long days, many sessions, some days starting at 5 for myself, probably ending at 12, 1 o'clock to repeat the process again. So you kind of have, you try to get power naps in between, or you adjust your schedule accordingly, so that you aren't sleep deprived.
Are you looking forward to anything in particular on the night of the pageant?
Of course, I always look forward to the talent segments, interview as well, but mostly talent, because it gives you a chance to see the diversity and the creativeness of the chaperones or the contestants themselves, actually.
Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing what you're going to bring to the stage on the night of the show. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Jason.
Next up is contestant number 4, Miss Tuwana Collins. Hello and welcome, Tuwana.
Hello, Jason. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Can you tell our viewing audience who is your sponsor? Very good. Now, I understand that your platform for this year's National Carnival Queen pageant is youth involvement in hurricane preparedness. Why that platform?
I chose this platform because I am currently the Vice President of the St. Kitts and Nevis Comprehensive Disaster Management Youth Ambassadors, and I have a passion for hurricane preparedness, generally disaster management.
And why get the youth involved, though?
I think it is important to build resilience and educate our young people about the awareness and negative effects of hurricane.
Okay, cool. Have you had much pageant experience?
Yes, I did.
Okay, tell me what are some of the pageants you've entered?
My first pageant was at Miss Newtown. I placed first runner-up. I lost by 2 points. That's okay.
So you were robbed then?
Yes. My second pageant was Miss Labour. I came queen in 2015. And that same year, I entered the Miss Fire and Rescue pageant, where I placed second.
Okay, so you've had some stage time, as it were.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how have your preparations been going for this pageant?
This pageant, if I had the chance to do it all over again, I would start right over. It's been a tiring moment, but full of positive memories, and I really wish I could do it all over again.
Okay. So would you encourage other young ladies to enter a pageant such as this?
Yes, I would encourage other young ladies to enter, because it builds your confidence. And being out there and speaking to different people, you'll be surprised to see how many people are rooting for you and are encouraging you to keep pushing until you get that crown.
Okay, very good. So I asked the previous contestant this question. I'll ask you, is there anything specific that you're looking forward to on the night of the show?
Is there anything specific I'm looking forward to? I'm not looking for anything specific. I'm just going to go out there and do my best and make myself and my country proud.
Okay, great. Well, we look forward to you and your performance on the night of the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We now continue with contestant number 5 in the National Carnival Queen Pageant, Miss Olivia Walters. Hello and welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, and it's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, can you tell us who is your sponsor?
Okay, my VIP sponsor is none other than the St. Kitts Nevis Development Bank.
Alrighty then. Now, let us talk about your platform. It is the unintended consequences of social media on mental health. It's a very interesting platform. Why did you choose that platform?
It is. I selected this platform to spark conversation about two major factors that I think are heavily impacting our society and the world today. And that is the strong influence social media has on its users and breaking the silent epidemic of mental health issues. And somehow I do believe that both are correlated.
Do you find that there isn't much discussion about mental health?
I do believe, like I said, I think that it is a silent epidemic and we need to address it with seriousness because it is a serious issue.
Now, speaking, sorry, were you going to say something more?
I would have, sure.
Okay, continue.
Right. I read this article recently from Caribbean news service, and I came across a very shocking statistic that said that in 2020, almost 50% or by more than 50%, mental health illness is projected to increase by almost 50%. And I don't think that we have the infrastructure or the enough workers in the mental health sector to facilitate that amount of persons who are suffering from mental health issues. And that is why I believe that we need to invest more towards this cause.
Okay. Now, your platform focuses on social media and its unintended consequences. What kind of consequences are we talking about?
Consequences just from insecurity can bring about depression, anxiety, stress that's not even yours. Just from scrolling through your Facebook and the amount of negative feedbacks, and it can cause stress and cause you to have anxiety. Also, memory shortage and addiction. It's not a drug, but it can be addictive.
Interesting. Okay, let us switch gears from the stress of social media to pageantry itself. Okay. Have you had much experience in queen shows and these types of contests?
Okay, so I have done 2 shows in my life. I had Miss White Sand swimsuit competition. That was my first show ever, and then I was successful in that show, and then I moved on to National Carnival swimsuit last year, and I placed first runner-up. Those were the only 2 shows.
Okay, so you've had some sort of experience.
Yes, so but this one is going to be different because White Sand and National Carnival swimsuit is merely swimsuit shows, and so with National Carnival Queen pageant, you have talent, you have interview, you have a national costume, national pride, we call it rather. And so I am excited for persons to see me showcase my talent and in a different light than other dancers.
Now, with all of these new segments, I mean, outside of swimwear, are you a little nervous? Because that requires a specific set of skills.
It is, but I am more excited than nervous. I always wanted to do an evening wear segment. I said, I want to do a show that have an evening wear because I just like to see how people glide across the stage and it just looks so regal, and I love that. I want to experience that.
Okay, so I take it that's what you're looking forward to on the night of the show.
I am. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to National Pride and talent.
Okay, great. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing you on the night of the show.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
Our final contestant is contestant number 6, Miss Aravinda Hughes. Hello and welcome, Miss Hughes.
Thank you. Good morning.
So, tell us about your sponsor.
I'm proudly sponsored by the cable as I said, quality shows and broadband internet service.
Okay, good stuff. Now, I understand that your platform that you're representing is youth development through football. Why have you chosen this platform?
I have chosen this platform because from my experience, it has taught me to be confident, courageous, and football is a part of me. I started playing at the age of 7, where I adopted it from my father, and it has molded and shaped me into a better way for who I am now. Football has taught me a lot of discipline, teamwork, sportsmanship, and it's just a fun, active sport that you would get friends and experience from this game.
Okay. Do you have a favorite football club?
Yes, I do. Locally, Carnival Football Club and the Carnival Football Club, and also internationally, Arsenal.
Okay. Oh, a big Arsenal fan, eh? I have some.
Gunners forever.
Oh, okay then. I have some Liverpool friends who might disagree, but
That's okay.
that's all right. But so tell me, now you mentioned it before, but can you speak a bit more, how can football itself lead towards youth development though?
There are so many aspects to football. There are benefits. Some benefits are, as I said, you would be confident and courageous because it's not easy playing out on a field in front of thousands of people, fans, community members, your family. It's not easy, and especially playing against your opponent. It is not easy. Football also offers you scholarships. This is where it relates to education. And then you would also turn into playing for your community. Whereas we have local teams such as Spurs, Keon, Connery, St. Paul's. And also you could advance on to playing with the national team. This is where you can then be identified or move on playing professionally. You never know if you may play in the Barclays Premier League. It would be an honor to see a Kititian playing in one of those games.
It would. All right. Now let's switch from football to pageantry. Have you had much pageant experience?
No, I don't. I just participated in Green Valley Communities, but I was at a very young age, the Junior Calypso Show and the Prince and Princess Show.
Okay. Now, I've been speaking with some of the other contestants, and they have had quite a bit of some of them have had quite a bit of pageant experience. How do you feel going up against more seasoned veterans, if you would?
This is something that would make me to double my work, be focused, be consistent, improve on the things that I'm not good with. As we would say, when you make a mistake, you actually learn from it. If you know your weakness, put your strength into it. And at the end of the day, I would improve before the night of the show.
Okay. How have your preparations been going so far?
It's been going well. I'm having fun throughout this whole journey, and it's a very good learning process. I love it.
Are you nervous at all, this being your first big pageant?
Yes, I'm a bit nervous, but at the end of the day, I would shake it off and be confident.
Okay.
Just like playing football.
Okay, oh, there you go. See, and that's how football relates to pageantry. So I've asked this question to the previous contestants as well. Is there anything in particular or anything specific that you're looking forward to on the night of the show?
Yes, I'm looking forward to the National Pride segment. I cannot go to Juve, which is very sad. So this segment would help me to partake in it just like it's Juve. Just be fun, have fun with it. And also the talent, it depicts my platform. So, and my voice would be heard about it to the audience and the judges. So yes, I'm actually looking forward to those two segments.
And we're looking forward to seeing you on the stage at the National Carnival Queen Pageant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you. And there you have it, all 6 contestants in the 2018-2019 National Carnival Queen Pageant, which takes place on Friday, December 28 at Warner Park. It's all part of Sugar Mass 47. I'm Jason Davis for ZIZ TV.